This is camping. The open sky, the silence, the crackle of a fire. A can of baked beans. A simpler life, far from the noise of the modern world. Nothing says camping like a can of food over a fire. For more than a century, this is what camping food was. But why do you have to settle for this when you could have all this? I'm Linhbergh, and this is my partner, Karissa. We love food and we love to cook. And for the past few years, we've taken that passion to the road. We've traveled all over and cooked meals in the most spectacular of landscapes. So come with us as we try to satiate our hunger by learning about new dishes to be cooked in the world's best kitchen, the outdoors. This is Marco. He's a family man first, a cook second, Jeep enthusiast third, an all-around S-tier genuine human being. People like Marco are a rare breed, maybe even an endangered species at this point. He is well known for traveling all over the United States and Mexico, cooking up the best Mexican food you could find far from any city or town. We were fortunate enough to visit him in his home. He told us all about his life and his travels. Then he cooked us a dish that's very near and dear to his heart.
My mom used to be a really good cook. My wife, she's a really good cook. So I learned a bunch of stuff from them. Mm-hmm. And I've always liked food. I like to prepare stuff and share it and see the reactions of people. To me, that's what makes the complete cooking experience.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think food is like this weird vessel that it brings people together, and
Yes.
that's such an incredible part about food, right? And then to me, it seems like that's an important part of it with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
To make something for my kids and have them enjoy it and like it and smile about it.
Yeah.
I think that's what made me get more interested in cooking.
That's amazing. So where did you grow up, by the way?
I was born and grew up in Tecate, Mexico.
Okay. Not too far from here.
Not too far, just right on the border. When my youngest daughter was born, we moved to the States. They will come from a Spanish-speaking school, and they suddenly moved to a whole different language. I think that was the main transition for the family, you know. But other than that, everything was smooth.
So you grew up in Tecate.
Grew up in Tecate.
What is local specialties in food of Tecate?
And I don't know if you heard of Baja Med.
No, I've never heard of that.
Baja Med food, it's awesome. It's a mix of Mexican food with other styles of cooking and recipes and all that. And it's awesome. So Tecate's got a couple of restaurants where they sell Baja Med.
Okay.
And come on, man, you've been to Baja.
I've been to Baja. I mean, it's magical.
The people, the food, the beaches, the camping spots. It's just...
And the vibe too.
The vibe.
I would say specifically this past trip, we were coming back up and we got stuck in a traffic jam, like really bad traffic. We were stationary for an hour and the locals start coming out of their cars and one guy's like, fiesta time, like cervezas and music and like bring it all out. And we're like, the frame of mind to have that Baja frame of mind that like I love.
And everything is slower.
And slower. Yeah.
And I love that.
Wow.
You sit down by the beach, you even feel bad.
Back to the food thing. Why do you think Mexican food is so popular in America? And also, why do you think it is the quintessential food for the outdoors? Like that is, if you don't want to cook what's regular camping food, it's Mexican food, without question.
Mexican food is really tasty and it's colorful. I think it's really a visual thing other than flavor. And of course, in this area, it's popular because we're so close to Mexico. I think that's the reason why. And it's easy. It's something like you don't struggle a lot to cook it. It's just easy to make.
Yeah.
And also, you can make different dishes with the same ingredients.
No, it's true. That's true. And then leftovers go really well.
They go, maybe you had tacos and tomorrow morning you're gonna have tostadas with, with the leftovers, right?
If I was to mash this up, like leftovers, mash this up, and then throw it on a tortilla, it'd be still be just as delicious, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or like mash it up and put it into tacos.
A torta.
A torta. Anything.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, let's say that this is your leftover from dinner.
Yeah.
Just put a couple of fried eggs on top of it in the morning.
There you go.
got an awesome
That's
breakfast.
breakfast.
Yeah.
I mean, breakfast is always instantly breakfast when you put an egg on it. Speaking about the outdoors, like how did you get into camping? How did you get into traveling?
I've always liked the outdoors.
Okay.
Ever since I was a kid, I used to ride dirt bikes, and I had a bunch of 4x4s through the years. And I've always liked photography. Mm-hmm. So one of the reasons that I got a Jeep was because of my photography. Mm-hmm. I wanted a vehicle that was capable enough to take me out to the desert, just bring my camera and make my photography. That's all I wanted. But when I find out that there are fridges that you can put on your vehicle and then a rooftop, then everything just got crazy. Because I used to go out there and just cook like normal stuff that you cook when you go camping. And then I said, you know what? We can make like good stuff, and I wanted to cook whatever I could cook at home. Make it at camp. And make it like a epic dinner.
That's the best, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're at an amazing location and you're amazing camp. You're like, I'm eating this, which makes it even better to be at certain places, right? It just makes you, even if you had like a terrible day on the trail, you come back to camp and you have good food and everything's good.
And then after you see your friends having your food, and you look at their faces, and they like it, and you feel like, oh yeah, this is worth it, right?
Yeah, it totally is. It's always worth it when you see the smile and then their reaction.
Yeah, that makes me proud.
You should be, right? Because this is amazing. I feel like this should be way more popular. If you were on death row tomorrow, what would be your last meal?
Birria. Birria de res.
That's it?
Yeah.
And so for the people that don't know, what is birria?
Birria is it's a stew. You use different dry chiles, and it's got this process. You make the salsa, and you slow cook the beef.
Yeah.
Or it can be goat.
And so I assume it's comfort food, right?
And it's really popular because of that, because of its flavor, its color.
Yeah.
And you can make tacos. You can make quesadillas with it.
How about this? How about we go to camp right now?
Let's do it.
And I will cook this for you.
Okay.
Right? Let's do this. Welcome to the desert. We had a wonderful day of getting into the desert here with Marco, and it was really beautiful actually, coming in from the canyon, and oh my gosh, it's amazing out here, right?
Gorgeous.
We're out here in the desert, finally, with Marco. He's off camera over there, judging me if I do things correctly or not. But we are here to make his dish that we learned yesterday here at camp, and it's albondigas and chipotle. Ooh, yeah, I got it right.
You got it.
Right? And so this is camp. We are at camp. It's going to be slightly modified to make it just a little bit easier. And I added a couple ingredients. And actually, I added only one ingredient to it, and then taking away a couple as well. So just like Marco's recipe, we have beef. And I always buy this like prepackaged, like vacuum sealed one at the grocery store. One, it doesn't leak anywhere, because if the ones that are like, you know, they have the styrofoam and stuff, it leaks. You don't want that in your fridge. So I always get these whenever we go to camp. We have rice. Any white grain rice is fine. Chipotle peppers. Chicken flavored MSG. Salt, pepper, and garlic powder, which I am adding. Tomatoes for the salsa, and onions. And finally, eggs. Oh, I forgot. Whole oregano.
Nice.
So let's start by cutting the onion. And here we go.
And you're using the whole onion, right?
We are going to use the whole onion, but
Okay.
we're using half the onion right now
Oh, okay.
for the meatballs, and then we're gonna use half for the salsa. If you don't mind, I'm gonna chop this up. There we go. Cut these really small, as per Marco's suggestion and recipe. Hi there.
Looks good, man.
Well, we'll see, right? We'll see. I hope it's as good as yours. Yeah. I mean, you're at camp. Food's always better at camp, though. There we go. And then put these in. Okay. So that goes in, and then the beef goes in. And we're just using 1 pound. This could feed about 4, I believe. There we go. Let's throw that away. And then seasoning. So we're going to put in some pepper. That's good. And then some salt. That's good. And then garlic powder. And then this is chicken flavored MSG. There we go.
Okay.
So you go ahead and start mixing that, and I will put in the eggs.
Okay. You want me to use
the oregano.
Oh, I forgot the oregano. Good call. This is why we have Marco here. So he taught me that I have to use my hands to crush the oregano.
Ooh, it makes it fresh.
Right. So
Or like, it probably helps release.
there we go.
You missed like half of the
There we go.
pan, but it's fine.
Thank you. So
Okay.
start mixing that, and
Okay.
I'll crack eggs in.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead.
Just go at it.
Just go at it.
All right.
Yeah, it's just way faster like that. Anyways.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing the eggs too.
Yep.
Ooh. It's okay.
So I decided to take out the ingredient out of Marco's original recipe, and that is the hard-boiled egg, right? His recipe had a quarter of a hard-boiled egg within each meatball, which was amazing. But I took it out just for simplicity's sake. I hope it doesn't anger him. We'll see. So I did that. Yeah, I took that out. Ooh, and then I forgot one more thing, actually. I forgot to add raw rice into the meatball mixture. And Marco specifically added raw white rice because it adds a crunch to it. They're not gonna cook fully within the sauce, but it adds a nice crunch to each meatball. What's up?
Nothing. You just got rice all over the table.
Rice is a good idea. You just throw it back on your shoulder. It's a good idea. It's good luck.
Okay.
Here you go.
All right. So
Yeah.
what? Like about a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of rice?
You know, we don't work in measurements out here. We're at camp.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Guess on everything.
And always throw one over your shoulder for good luck. All right, I
Okay.
think that's good to go. Go ahead
Cool.
and form those into meatballs.
Okay.
Let's do like a little bit bigger than that.
Okay.
Yep, there you go.
And we're grilling veggies after all this.
Yeah, so then
Okay.
now that she's making the meatballs, we're gonna go over to grill vegetables for the salsa. For the salsa, you need to blend the salsa. You could always do this before you go into camp, or you can do it at camp if you have a blender. Or if you don't have a blender, carry a mortar pestle with you or a food processor. There's many ways of doing this. You don't have to have a blender. But since Marco's amazing rig is here, we're using his blender and his amazing little kitchen he has over here. Yeah, so
How are those?
those look great. So I will turn on the stove.
Okay.
Swing-
Yeah, go
swap
ahead.
with you. And then the stove, we want ripping hot. So I'm gonna add oil. I'm gonna wait for it to start sizzling and making smoke. And when it starts smoking, then I can add the vegetables. We're blackening it, each tomato, and then the onion is blackening as well. And it's gonna add a lot of smokiness to the whole dish. and it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna clean up my onion here.
Okay. Should I wash my hands?
You'll wash your hands.
Back there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We'll wait for this to fire up. So, she washed her hands. Hands are clean. But we are using this meatball mixing bowl, and we're putting the salsa into it, or the grilled veggies into it. And usually people are a little weird about raw meat and things like that, but we are cooking the salsa, so it doesn't cook everything out if there is anything in the vegetables.
In the meats.
In the meats.
It just looks gross. I'm not worried about it. It just looks, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
It's all fine. We're at camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So wait for those to sizzle up some more.
Okay.
I always say, the cheat to make yourself like an incredible cook is just to put onions, garlic, and oil into a pan. That's it. And you're like, everyone's gonna go up like, oh my gosh, what's that amazing smell? I'm like, it's just onions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna put the onion in, and just don't touch that one,
Okay.
because that one's just gonna brown.
Is it ripping hot yet?
Almost. All right, putting tomatoes in.
Okay.
Putting tomato in. Tomato in. Yep, there you go. And then, so here we have these chipotle peppers, canned, of course. Depending on your preference of heat, it's how many you put in. Marco put in about 3 or 4, and it was about a mild to medium, I would say, or would you call it mild to medium? And if you want hotter, add in more. Or if you just want to, like, you know, spend the next morning a little longer out in the wilderness, add the whole can.
Yeah, if you're a spice lord, just throw it all in.
Throw it all in.
Yeah.
Right, just go ahead and start flipping those. Like, don't flip that one yet.
Okay.
Flip the,
Just the
tomatoes.
Oh, yeah.
And then, yep. The thing about camp cooking is if you want to eat well, you have to relegate that you are going to do extra dishes, no matter what, right? And if you're okay with doing extra dishes, you're going to eat really well. But if you're lazy, there are days that we just do PBJs out here. We just do like crackers and meats. That's fine too, all right? But we always have like at least one really good meal a week whenever we're traveling.
Yeah, it's nice to level it up once in a while.
Yeah, you're out here, you're out in the wilderness. Everything always tastes better when you're out here.
Yeah. Do you want me to flip this yet?
Yeah, you can flip that. Let's flip that.
Okay. Ooh.
That's fine.
Oh, almost full.
It's okay if they come out. Yep. You're good. Yeah, that looks great.
Okay.
Yep, I'm gonna clean this up with my rag. And I always clean up as I'm cooking. It just helps make cleanup a little easier after you finish cooking. There's just less things to do. And there we go. Now we have a whole new clean area.
Perfect.
Yeah. The great thing about this, the chicken flavor MSG, it is one of my staples in my pantry. It's just super versatile. Any sort of MSG will make anything taste good, basically. The reason why instant ramen tastes good, MSG.
MSG. Even fish sauce, if you don't want MSG in your soups.
Yeah,
Fish
yeah.
sauce is
So
nice, too.
I full-time carry fish sauce as well in the rig. And fish sauce is a Vietnamese staple ingredient. It's in every single Vietnamese dish. But the way I use it as a anchovy replacement, right? So there is, if I wanted to make a from scratch at camp Caesar salad dressing, I use fish sauce because there's anchovies in the fish sauce. Or if I made a red sauce, like for spaghetti, I would add in fish sauce as an anchovy flavor. And it just makes, you don't taste it at all, there's no fish in it, it's just umps the level of flavor and it's great.
Yeah, I'd say it like levels up like herbs and spices and soups or anything like that.
Yeah.
It makes the herbs even, you taste them more. It's wild.
Yeah, it sounds like, on paper, fish sauce sounds disgusting, right? But if you just use it as a flavor enhancer, you'll never taste it, and it adds so much flavor to everything. So, and the same thing with any sort of chicken bouillon, right? So there's beef bouillon, there's tomato bouillon, and then the best way to think about it is it's those flavors that you're buying plus MSG. And MSG makes everything in the world better. All right, I think you can pull those off.
Do you want me to like have these separated a little
No,
bit?
no,
Okay.
because they're just going straight in the blender. So let's pull those off.
Okay.
Yep.
You think tomatoes are long enough?
Yeah,
They're not very
yeah.
soft, but.
No, they don't have to be soft. They just, the
Okay.
skin has to be black.
Oh, I mean,
Yep, let's turn that off.
charred.
And I'm gonna go over to the blender. Oh my gosh, can you believe this setup right here that Marco has?
This is really nice.
This is so nice.
Even just like this nice ambiance of lighting is perfect.
Yep. We're adding in chicken flavored MSG, chicken bouillon. Always makes everything great. Salt. Pepper. You might need salt, but we're gonna mix it. We're gonna mix it first. And give me them tongs. And we're gonna add in some chipotles. Medium spicy, yeah? Yep, and add in some sauce.
It looks like the whole can.
No, that's not the whole can. That's half the can. Okay. I mean, it's not a very big can. All right, add in some water. Okay, let's give it a little plunge here. I think that's good. This goes on. Mix that around.
Gosh, that was so easy.
Oh my gosh. Like, I always tell people that making fresh salsa is the best thing. And it makes the dish so much better when it's fresh.
Oh, yeah.
All right. You want to try it?
Sure.
Try it.
Oh, that's so delicious. It has a
So-
lot of depth to it.
So much, right?
The roastedness adds just like,
The perfect amount.
yeah.
All right, so we're back. Look at this beautiful salsa we just made, all right? And again, you don't need a blender. You could do it in a mortar pesto if you carry one. You don't need power for that. Again, we're here with Marco with his amazing rig out here in the desert. And he has a blender. Use the blender.
Use the blender.
Yep. Waiting for that to rip up. Yep, so you can start adding those guys.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then also, we're eating this with rice. And I have rice, we already pre-cooked. It's just long grain white rice. We're gonna serve it with the meatballs and the salsa. I pre-cooked it. And I also travel with this rice cooker. It's great. You don't need a ton of power to run this too, which is awesome. Yeah, and then let that brown up.
I can maybe fit one more. Should I? Give him space?
Give them space. Yeah, yeah. You don't if you don't give them space, they'll start steaming rather than browning.
Oh.
Yeah, they need room to breathe.
Okay.
Yeah. We have an audience right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hardest thing about meat sometimes is being patient, because like sometimes you're anxious, right? And you just want to touch the meat. You're like, oh my gosh, like I want to know if it's good and ready. Don't touch the meat if you're browning it. Let it do its thing. And once it's ready to be flipped, it'll release from the pan so it won't stick. If it sticks to the pan, it's not ready for sure. But when it is, it won't stick to the pan.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, we're adding in the salsa now.
Ooh. It smells wonderful. Ooh, that's a lot of salsa.
Perfect.
Yeah?
And I add a little bit of water to salsa to help let it blend, and also two, it looks like there's a lot of water now. We're gonna leave the lid off for now, and then let it come to a boil, and then leave it off, and it will eventually just boil off a lot of the water, and then you have a nice thick sauce after that.
Okay.
All right, so this has been going on now for 10, 15 minutes, and it's cooked through. The meatballs are nice and firm. They're easy to move around in the sauce, and you can kind of tell that's cooked at that point. If they're too soft and they kind of break apart while you're moving it around, not cooked all the way through.
Yeah, they have a nice firmness whenever you push on them.
So yeah, so we're good now. And I'm gonna plate. So we got rice here. Put this on a plate. Let's see. And then we're gonna have Marco come in and give it a try. So give me a meatball.
Marco?
Yep. What do you think?
That looks beautiful. Look at the color.
Yes. Go ahead and put 2 meatballs in.
They look beautiful. What am I saying? Okay, there we go.
There we go.
How many you want on there? Okay. Ooh-wee. 2?
Yep. And then sauce.
Of course. Can't go without the sauce. Look at that.
Look at that. Okay.
Beautiful.
Here you go.
Oh man.
Here's your fork.
This looks perfect.
We'll see, right? It's missing a lot of things.
Just don't burn yourself.
It's got the smell. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We did
This
it.
is really
We
good.
did it. We did it.
Nice. Approved.
Right
Good job.
spiciness. How many
4.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
We went for a medium.
Let me keep on tasting. It is so good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
good.
Thank you again for teaching us. And thank you for allowing us into your home, teaching us this amazing meal, and thank you for coming out to camp with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for making me part of this.
So with that, we'll see you next time at camp.
The desert fell silent as the sun faded to night. The fire let out its last few crackles as we let it die out. We sat around the table reminiscing on the few days we've spent together. Our bellies were full, our hearts more so. Out here, things are different. Out here, there are no distractions. Cell phone signal was long gone. The distance between you and the people around you become almost nothing. Out here is whatever you want to make of it. There's no right or wrong. You can enjoy a canned beans one evening and go all out the next. These days, bringing out the kitchen sink is worth it. It's a far cry from those days of canned beans and hot dogs. But if we can have a meal like we had out here while gazing upon the stars, that's worth everything.